O God, come to my assistance. Lord, make haste to help me. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen. Alleluia. Behold the voice resounding.
Today is December 3rd,
Rebuking hidden fears and deeds.
Wednesday,
Let dreams be driven far
and
away.
I'm still in Jacksonville,
For Christ
Florida,
shines forth from heaven's height.
performing my
Now
testing
let the
at the Mayo
weary
Clinic.
soul arise.
Today I will be
Infirm and
seeing
wounded by her sin.
Dr. Parando,
A new
my
star now sends
myeloma
forth
specialist,
its light, to
who
rid
I
the
asked
world
to
of
oversee
every harm.
my possible stem cell
The
transplant.
sent from realms on high.
We'll be doing some testing
To
today.
free us from our mortal death. Let every voice give
On Monday I did
praise,
see
and weep for tender
Dr. David
mercy
Miller,
shown, that when he
the
comes
radiation
like a lightning
oncologist
flash,
who does
and
surgery as well.
terror grips the world in
And he
terror,
looked at my case and
he need
will
not
consult with his
punish
team
us
to
for
determine
guilt,
what would be the
but
best
with
surgical
compassion
option going
shield
forward,
us then.
considering that I am in my 50s.
To
I'm
the Father
relatively
God
young, and
Most High,
although the
all
cancer
victory to his only
makes
Son.
surgical options
Do
a
honor
little
to
complicated,
the Spirit blessed,
um,
through endless ages ever.
the prospect of
Amen.
longevity
O
probably
Lord, in
gives it
your light,
some
we
weight
see light
to do something
itself.
for me to
Sin
help to
speaks
stabilize my
to the
vertebrae
sinner in
collapsed by
the
the
depths
cancer.
of his heart. There is no fear of God before his eyes.
I
He so
didn't do
flatters himself
a
in
reflection
his
hour
mind
yesterday
that he knows not
because
his
sadly
guilt. In his mouth are mischief
there has been a
and
tremendous
deceit.
flare-up of body pain.
All the wisdom is gone.
I'm experiencing a great deal of
He
neuropathy
plots the defeat of
and
goodness as he lies
bone
on his
pain.
bed.
And I
He has
happen to have
set
thrown
his
away
foot on
my old
evil way.
narcotics because
He
the
clings
narcotics
to what is
just make me feel
evil.
nervous and agitated. And
Your
I threw
love,
away the
Lord, reaches
oxycodone, and I
to
threw away the
heaven. Your
Tamamil,
truth
whatever
to
it's
the
called.
sky. Your
And now
justice
I'm
is
without
like God's
narcotics
mountain.
and experiencing a flare-up
Your
of pain.
judgments
And I'm
like
being a bit
the
down now.
deep. To both
My
man and
oncologist even
beast you
would not,
give protection.
prescribe me any emergency
O Lord,
narcotics.
how
He says to
precious
try
is
the
your love.
650 milligram
My God, the sons of
arthritic
men
Tylenol. I tried it.
find refuge in the
This
shelter
morning
of
I'm
your
okay,
wing.
but I
They feast on
also
the
took steroids
riches of
last night,
your house. They drink from
which
the
tend to
stream of
decrease
your
the inflammation
delight.
process. So
In you
this
is
morning
the
I feel
source
better
of
again.
life, and
But
in
this
your
morning I did
light
wake up
we
early
see
again.
light. Keep on loving those who know you,
But
doing
my
justice
reflection today
for
focuses
upright heart.
on, I think it's
Let the foot of
pain
the
management.
proud not crush
Pain
me,
management.
nor the hand
Not
of
in a
the
practical
wicked
way,
cast
but
me out.
again, in a philosophical way. Everything
See
for
how
me
the
is
evildoers fall.
existential. Everything for me is
Run
philosophical.
down, they shall never
How do I approach
arise.
this affront
Gloria
of
Patria et
pain in my life?
Filio et Spiritui
How do I make
Sancto,
spiritual sense out of it?
sicut erat in
How do I approach it
principio et
holistically
nunc et semper,
as a
et
spiritual
in
being?
saecula saeculorum. Amen. O Lord, in your light we see light itself. O God, you are great and glorious. We marvel at your power.
If I had been in
Strike up the instrument,
a more primitive
a
culture,
song to my
in a
God
third
with
world environment
timbrel.
maybe,
Chant to the
and I
Lord with
faced my multiple
cymbal.
myeloma cancer,
Sing to him
I probably would have just been plunged into a debilitating suffering, and it probably would have acutely progressed and just taken sick and pass on.
Wonderful in power and unsurpassable.
But given that I'm in
Let your
a society that has more knowledge about the human body and sciences, I'm able to understand more in detail what's happening. And there are also pain management processes. We have lots of drugs and different interventions against pain and so on. So, because I made the larger decision to fight the cancer, to not just embrace my mortality, but to fight the cancer, to make it a part of my life for the sake of my loved ones and for the sake of society, as I do this as a part of humanity, bear witness to it, because I've decided to fight it. Pain management and how I deal with pain becomes itself a part of the prayer, you might say. A part of the prayer of fighting cancer. A part of the common human struggle that I'm contributing to. So,
great King over all the earth, He subdues peoples under us.
I suppose I'll continue to experiment with what kinds of narcotics would be useful to alleviate the pain without giving me the side effects.
God goes up with shouts of joy. The Lord goes up with
but in the midst of these agonizing pain, sometimes it's hard to even pray. It's hard to even pray.
God is King of all the earth. Sing praise with all your skill. God is King over the nations. God reigns on his holy throne. The
only
princes
solace
of the peoples are assembled.
I have, the only sense of existential justice I have,
the rulers of the earth belong to
is
God.
that
To God
this
who reigns over
body, this flesh and blood, this body, is just a small aspect of my full conscious self, my full spiritual self. And the affront of pain, the tragedy of the pain, is therefore not as big as it might seem as I'm going through it.
The virgin shall be with child and bear a son, and shall name him Emmanuel. He shall be living on curds and honey by the time he learns to reject the bad and choose the good. Your light will come, Jerusalem. The Lord will dawn on you in radiant beauty. Your light will come, Jerusalem. The Lord will dawn on you in radiant beauty. You will see His glory within you.
No sublime conclusions today again. Just I'm looking forward to a less painful day, and I'm hoping to forge a good relationship between my myeloma specialist here at the Mayo and my oncologist, my general oncologist, Dr. Daniel Castro in Pine City, Florida. I've had some frictions with my local oncologist because sometimes I'm dismayed at the level of attention that I seem to be receiving as a cancer patient. The practice seems to be a little overly busy, and
that He would
But
save us from our enemies.
maybe it's understandable
From
that
the
sometimes
hands of
we're
all
hyper-focused on our
haters.
individual case
He
when we are
promised to show
juggling
mercy to our
a
fathers
good deal of
and
people.
to remember His
But
holy covenant.
the key for my
This
good
was
treatment
the
will
oath He
be
swore
a
to
good,
our father
harmonious
Abraham,
communication and
to set
relationship
us
between my
free from
local
the hands
oncologist,
of
who's a
our
general
enemies,
oncologist, not a
free to
myeloma
worship
expert,
Him without
and the
fear,
Mayo Clinic myeloma
holy
expert.
and righteous in His
And I'm
sight
hoping
all
to
the days
make a
of
good
our life.
first
You, my child,
face-to-face
shall be
impression
called the prophet of the
with Dr.
Most High,
Parando today at the Mayo
for you
Clinic
will
to
go before the
develop
Lord
that
to prepare
sense
His
of
way,
how can we go forward in this
to give His
harmonious,
people knowledge of
constructive
salvation
way
by the
for
forgiveness of their
the quality of
sins.
my treatment.
In the tender
Because
compassion of our God,
I have to have my local
the dawn
oncologist
from on high
in
shall
Orange
break
City area
upon
where I
us,
live,
to shine on those who
because
dwell in darkness and the
we are
shadow
treated out of
of
the local
death,
cancer center there.
and to guide our feet into the
And
way
it's hard to
of
find a
peace.
specialist outside of bigger cities and
Gloria
research
Patri
organizations
et
like the Mayo Clinic
Filio
and so on.
et
So Jacksonville
Spiritui
happens to be
Sancto,
the
sicut
biggest
erat in
city with the
principio et nunc
specialist
et semper, et in
in the Mayo
saecula
Clinic research
saeculorum.
organization
Amen.
to where I live in Central Florida.
The one who is coming
We do
after
have the
me is
Moffitt in
greater
Tampa,
than
but
I.
but
I am
I'd
not worthy
rather
to
come to
untie the
Jacksonville
straps
because
of his sandals.
I had some
The
relationship
Word of
with
God
the Mayo
humbled
Clinic before
himself
when I
to
considered
dwell
doing
with
a
us so
gastric
that we might see his
bypass
glory.
surgery and the lab
Rejoicing
testing
in hope, let us call
in
upon him.
2012,
Emmanuel be with
which
us.
never panned out because I have a motility
Ruler,
issue
just and righteous,
in my
bring
esophagus,
justice to the
so
poor
I
and
never
the
did that
oppressed.
surgery. But the
King
Mayo
of
Clinic did
peace,
a
you
whole bunch
beat
of
swords
testing,
into
and
plowshares and spears into pruning
they have
hooks.
some
You turn
testing
hatred into love and
background
our
on me
grievances
back in
into
2012. So I
forgiveness.
thought it was interesting
You do not
that
judge by
in
appearances.
2025 I'm diagnosed with cancer. In
Recognize those who
2012 they
are
have a
your
lot of
own.
testing knowledge about me.
When you
So
come with power and might
as a
upon the
research organization,
clouds,
that's food for
grant
fodder.
that we may come before you
They can look
without
at
shame.
tests and see if it makes
Our
they can
Father who art in
gain
heaven,
some insight about
hallowed be thy
knowing
name.
that this person will
Thy
develop
kingdom
myeloma,
come.
you know,
Thy will be
and
done
such
on
and such
earth as
testing
it
occurred.
is in
And I
heaven.
do recall that back in
Give us this day
2012
our
they
daily bread,
found
and
a
forgive us
marker,
our
a genetic marker,
trespasses
they
as
said,
we
that was
forgive those who
anomalous and it looked like
trespass
it could be
against
cancer
us.
producing.
And lead us
But at the
not
time,
into
there was no
temptation,
cancer in my system. So
but
it
deliver
might be
us from
interesting that we can put two
evil.
and two together as a research
O
organization
God, who through
and
the
maybe learn a
preaching
little
of
something
Saint
from my
Francis
particular
Xavier, won many
cancer.
peoples to yourself,
But anyways, these are the
grant
things that
that
are
the
going
hearts
on
of
in
the
a practical
faithful
way right now,
may burn with the same zeal for the
dealing with
faith, and that Holy Church may everywhere rejoice in an abundance
suffering.
of offspring.
Every time
Through our Lord
I
Jesus Christ, your
suffer
Son,
pain,
who lives and reigns with you in
it
unity of the
just
Holy
drives home to me
Spirit,
the fact that
God
I have
forever and
decided to fight
ever. Amen.
the cancer, not for
Dominus
just
nos
for the sheer
benedicat,
sake of
et ab
survival,
omni
not
malo
for the sheer sake of
defendat,
mindless
et ad
survival,
vitam perducat
but
aeternam.
for my family, for the world,
Amen.
as I can continue to be here for the world and for my
Thank you for
family.
praying with me. This episode was made possible by
So,
Hallow, the #1 prayer app in the world. Hallow has over 10,000
thanks for listening.
audio-guided prayers,
Let's see
meditations,
what
and
happens.
music to help you find
Have a
peace
good day.
and grow closer to God. Get 3 months free of Hallow at hallow.com/singthehours. God